Alright, here we are with round 4 of the daily. We're playing Ronanquieros. I was a little sketchy, and we're going to keep this because it's good. The player search tool, well, you see it now, but he was... Okay, forget it. It's a good tool. You should... And it's highly recommended. You could look up players and their decks and whatnot. And I saw that I was going to be playing him, so I looked up what he was running. But once we saw that, we know anyway. Um, so we're playing Rush Affinity. um, Affinity is kind of it's a 50-50 shot. If we can get Pestilence up, we're in pretty good shape. Sometimes they get really fast. The Fling is often a problem because, it just pulls out huge amounts of damage from nowhere. Prismatic Strands does a lot against that, though. The real problem is that they have a lot of like 4/4 creatures that are hard to kill with Pestilence. Right here, I think we're just gonna get rid of this. Well, actually, he's stuck on land. So we could. Yeah, the journeys in this match really should be saved for anything that's 4/4. So, I mean, we could use them a little bit better with the build. And also, if he had, like... If this isn't very threatening yet. So it's going to hit us for a little bit, but not as much as one of the 4/4 guys is potentially going to hit us for. That's interesting. I'm confused as to what he's... Yeah, I forget the 4/4 guy name, what it's called, but yeah, we're gonna trade here. And we should just put the planes back. This way next turn we can play Guardian. We're losing out on playing that again, but being able to block that will make up for the 2 life that we lose for not being able to block it. So that's the thing that we need to journey. Um, this matchup gets tough. It's okay. So we play this. We're it's, yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna play Guardian this turn to stop the Frogmites. This is still gonna get in. And then next turn we're going to Journey of Nowhere, the Mirror Enforcer, and then Grim Harvest, the Lone Missionary on his end step, and then play the lone. And hopefully we have our land by then. Alright, that's kind of a problem. Uh, at some point throughout this, it would be good to get the Prismatic Strands in the graveyard to have a way to deal with Fling. But he doesn't have ATOG yet, so... But he might soon, so... Yeah, so our old plan still sounds good. We're gonna journey to nowhere. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, if he has Atog and Fling, then we're actually we're not done anyway. But yeah, the 4/4s are tough to deal with. Even with we do have a Pestilence, and that will get rid of the Disciple. But the 4/4s are tough to deal with just because if you have Wall of Hopes out, you have to kill the Wall of Hopes, and just having 4 black available is not the easiest thing in the world. So he's going to attack us for 3. We're gonna Grim Harvest this turn. And he has Atog. Yeah, so also we can also blow him out with Prismatic Strands too. So that's something to keep in mind. Where if he like sacks his board to fling something, and then we Prismatic Strands, it's like impossible to come back from. So he's gonna hit us for, well, okay. So this is gonna be okay. He is gonna block him. He will block this guy. Might have been better to like I don't know. If we had left Atog unblocked, we could have Prismatic Strand. What was I saying? Oh, we could have maybe he would have fallen into the trap of sacrificing a bunch of stuff, thinking that he had game, and then in reality he just loses. But that didn't happen. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna just play Wall of Hope, and we're gonna keep Prismatic Strands up. Next turn we're gonna. And his end turn, well, okay, it depends what he does. Because if he has a card in his hand, we're gonna want. Well, actually, yeah, we'll Prismatic Strands for blue, to stop this, and that'll be okay. Because we want a defense up against Fling, because that's really the card right now that will blow us out. Because he makes this. Pestilence is really good here, especially with the Wall of Hope. So that might be our next play. Let's see. I don't think we have anything better to do. Because then we can kill this, and we can put a lot of pressure on Atog. And if we didn't have the Wall of Hope up, then Pestilence really is not as good an option because we're getting pretty low here, especially for Affinity. Because I feel like most of the matches I lose against Infinity are just not playing to their outs. So at this point, their big out is going to be Fling. And a Disciple of the Vault. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so he's at 9. So Disciple of the Vault is also one of his big outs right now. I don't know what he's attacking there for, but... So here, there's not much we can do. Yeah, we have to take this. This makes us lose to another Disciple. Well, he already has 2 of those, but it keeps us alive against Fling. Okay, so it was just kind of a guessing game. Okay, so now we should, let's see. We'll do this. And then we will Pestilence for, well, okay. At this point, I think I would rather just do the next trigger on his turn. Atog's not going to be getting through because we have Guardian. And if he does ram us with Atog, we could block with Wall of Hope, and we'll gain tons. And the reasoning being that we can Prismatic Strands and have that up. Two, three, four, 8. All right, so he doesn't have Disciple. Oh man. Okay, I don't know what I'm thinking. We're just gonna Prismatic Strands here again for blue. So now we have a bunch of... Sorry for the misplays here. One, two, three. Okay, so we're gonna disturb Burial to get back the little missionary. Well, actually, let's see. Okay, what we should do, we'll Pestilence for 2 to kill the Hover Guard. We can't kill this yet. Atog is gonna be blocked by either the Wall or the Guardian, and at this point we just kind of want to boost our life a little bit. Okay. Let's see. And then we will Grim Harvest for the Lone Missionary. Because one of his only outs right now is going to... Oh, Atog. Okay, Atog's gone. So I'm not really sure actually where his outs are. Pretty soon we should play the Augur of Skulls to hit his hand. Okay. Yeah, there's... Right now we're just waiting for our other black. And we can gain some life in the process. We can't attack with Guardian. We could actually start burning him out with Pestilence as well. That is an option. I don't know what he's playing. Oh, Russian Knowledge. Yeah, there's not much we could do there. Okay. It's not too much of a problem because Guardian can block the colored guy. This, and then there's also the white one drop that gets Metalcraft, which are more the problematic cards for us to deal with. We're gonna... And part of the value and it was we're just gonna keep getting back lone missionaries and gaining life. Meanwhile, we're gonna be whittling him down a little bit. Uh, we also have two prismatic strands. Wait. Oh, okay. I got confused there. We could augur of skulls. Let me think. One, two. Yeah, augur of skulls isn't gonna necessarily be too good here because he can just... There's a good chance that next turn he just spews his entire hand out of the over the board anyway, and then we're just stuck with him. We could disturb burial and just keep gaining life, because right now the board's kind of at a stalemate. We need one more swamp to really to make pestilence relevant on the board. So, and we also have the two prismatic strands. Not to keep bringing them up, but they're easy to forget about. Maybe he has forgotten about them. That would be cool. When he ATOG flings his board. Okay. Um, Okay, we'll do that to kill that. Or yeah, that's best. So we get down to 19. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the flying guy. Okay, so I think here we pestilence twice to force some ATOG sacks and to kill the flying guys because they're going to be a problem now. And then we can, and even though these are surviving, and it looks like he has a lot, by lowering his artifact count, one of the ways he can win is still by playing Disciple, and then sacking his board, and we lose like one. We lose 1 life for every artifact sacked. So by forcing that number down a little bit too, we do a lot. We can kind of get rid of. We'll do this. Well, actually, no. We're gonna do this, and we'll Grim Harvest for the Lone Missionary. It doesn't really matter at this point if we lose the Grim Harvest because we have Disturbed Burial. I guess the one thing to be watch out for too. Well, actually, no, that won't work. I was going to say if he attacked with ATOG and we put Pestilence on this Prismatic Strands on the stack, then he would be able to we're just gonna take that. He would be able to fling in response to Prismatic Strands, but then we just have another one, so that wouldn't actually work. We finally have enough to kill this thing. And that thing. So we're going to do that now. We're just going to let that go. And then we will just play the Lone Missionary. We could play the Guardian as well. But, I mean, it's not a huge deal at this point. We should attack with him. Did I click too quickly? No. Okay. And then next turn we can swing with both and Pestilence trigger the rest of the way. And that should be good. Yeah, I think we should win this here. Alright, so this is going to be game 1 against Affinity. I always find myself paranoid against Affinity. Because it can pull wins out of nowhere. And what did I... Oh, okay. Uh, so I played the Guardian to keep Prismatic Strands up. But that doesn't matter. Uh, so we go sideboarding. Affinity is not one of my stronger matchups. And I actually haven't played it too often with this deck, so I don't have a really good sideboard idea worked out. And Castigate, Augur of Skulls are not good. Castigates aren't good either. And that, well, yeah, they're... it's just mostly because they spew their hand so early. That being said, Augur of Skulls are still kind of decent because you can block with them. And you could block the 4/4 guys and hold them back. Whereas otherwise they have a tendency to run you over. And none of this stuff is really useful. And you know, it could help us come back from a rush of knowledge if they start doing that and rushing for knowledge. All right, so I'll pause the video, and when round 2 starts, I'll start it up again. All right, here we are with round 2 of Affinity. This hand is kind of awful. Yeah, the question is this going to be better than like what we can normally expect from a 6-card hand? I think we have to keep it and just hope we get a black. If we get a black, then Echoing Decay turns on. If we get another land, Prismatic Strands turns on, and that's okay. Not having something early to play is going to be a problem, but we also do get an extra draw because we're on the draw. So we will keep this reluctantly, just because I don't know how much. Because it's alright, and the Wall of Hope makes this hand go way up in value, because now all of his... We have ways to block all the early things that he's going to play. Like Springleaf Drum. And... Okay, we need another land. Alright. So what's going to be really good here is if he attacks with this and then blocks weak. Prismatic Strands and Atog is actually like a really good interaction for us. And depending what he... And we might just Echoing Decay on his end step. Actually, no, that's bad. We should save these for Frogmites and the Disciples. Ugh. Let's see. Alright, I think we're just gonna pass. Okay, actually, oh man. Okay, so what I should have done here was play the Prismatic Strands on my turn, and then play the Basilica, and then next turn it opens up options for us to do things. Instead, I was dumb. The idea being that we need to keep the Wall of Hope up, and having Prismatic Strands, hopefully we can get some... I was thinking that maybe we can get some value out of doing that. Of like responding to something with Prismatic Strands. and I wanted to keep it up. And that was probably a bad idea. But being results oriented, it works out because he played 2 hover guards. So we can do this. What's he doing here? No, that's funny. Okay, so the plan from last turn, we'll do that now. So we're in pretty good shape here, I think. Because next turn we can take the 6. Yeah, so we can play that, and then we'll play the pestilence. And then he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he would need multiple, what are they called? The disciples. If he has multiples of those, then we're kind of in trouble, as he can sack his board. But I don't think that's too much of a problem. We shall see. We could also always kill the first one with the pestilence. So he would need 2, I think. Yeah, so he does that. And he plays another one, we will respond to it. Okay, yeah, if this one hits the board, we lose. So we pestilence over it. And if he has a third one, then I think we were just unlucky. We couldn't tap out for strands here to block these because I don't know, fling. Maybe I'm being a little too conservative of playing around fling, but it's one of those win from nowhere cards that I don't know. Maybe I'm overly on alert for it, but okay. So we pestilence, and then pestilence again. He actually forces him to use ATOG. So that's good. Let me auto trigger these. Right here, let's see. We need to keep this there for fling. We could pestilence for 2. Okay, actually, uh, moving quickly because of the clock. I think I'm just gonna use this other prismatic strands to put this in the graveyard. We'll make ourselves invincible to red. That was dumb what I just did. Okay, so we play this, which then next turn lets us actually have another prismatic strands up. Prismatic strands are pretty good right now. Um, and basically our goal is to just kill this. And once we kill this, we're in good shape and probably gonna win. Maybe at this point, actually, I think we can, because we can play. Let's see. Maybe we could just take it. Uh, oh wait, okay. That is not what I. Okay. I meant to prismatic strands on the Wall of Omen, and we're gonna try to get him to fling here with strands. That was okay. So basically, what I wanted to do was maybe get him to fling a little bit early, and we could catch him off guard with the. Okay. All my misplays aside, we're gonna actually. I don't know. Despite my many misplays, we're actually in a really good spot here, because we could just keep hitting on this. We will. Okay. Actually, fling doesn't even kill us right now, so I'm worrying about nothing. But the real thing to worry about right now is just the time. So yeah, right now it's just really a matter of just finishing out the game. We'll do that, and then he'll do something in response, and then we could actually we'll just play the strands on red again to keep that alive. And then from here, his board's gonna be pretty much done, and it's just a matter of closing out the game. Hopefully. I don't see how he would come back from this. But then again, I'm not terribly experienced in this matchup. It's not one of my better ones, as you can tell. We'll do this for 2. With that gone, we could just yeah. And then next turn we will win. Guardian hit for 2. Pestilence can hit for 4. And this should be it. And we didn't have any dreadful Cloud Post matchups, which were long. Alright, so that is... Alright, so that's 4-0 in a daily. We actually lucked out quite a bit because all of the matches that we had were decks where against decks which the Pestilence deck is just really phenomenal. And that's basically any deck that tries to win through beating you down with creatures and doing anything with creatures. And then the Cloud Post matchup is terrible because that doesn't affect them at all. So that was the daily. I will play a couple more 2-man queues to just give you an idea of how this deck plays versus Storm and Cloud Post. I don't think there's a Stompy or an Infect, but they are more or less the same as the Goblins and Affinity matchups, just because they're all aggro decks. So thank you very much for watching. This is the first time I'm doing the videos, so if you have any comments, concerns, questions, things you'd like to see, things you don't like to see, just let me know in the comments below, and I will take that all into consideration. And I really hope you enjoyed the videos, and thank you for watching. Take care.